Hello students, now coming back to the corticosteroids. Now we are seeing the synthesis of the corticosteroids. Now the enzymes which are available for the synthesis of the corticosteroids are under the influence of the ACTH. So any deficiency of the enzymes can lead to the decrease in the hormonal synthesis, and this can lead to the Addison's disease. While the increase in the hormones, excessive production of the hormone will lead to the Cushing's disease. Now coming to the regulation of the hormonal synthesis. Now the glucocorticoid secretion, synthesis and release of the hormone is under the influence of the ACTH, which is released from the anterior pituitary, and in turn this is under the release of the corticotrophin releasing factor, which is secreted by the hypothalamus. So whenever the hormone level rises, that is the cortisol production increases, there is decrease in the negative feedback control operates, and there is a decrease in the release of corticotrophin releasing factor from the hypothalamus, which also decreases the ACTH release, and that will decrease the production and the release of the hormones. While when the cortisol level falls, as in Addison's disease, there is a excessive rise in the CRF, that is corticotrophin releasing factor, and also the ACTH. So the plasma level of these hormones will increase, that is the CRF and the ACTH will be increased when there is a decrease in the cortisol level in the blood, as in Addison disease. Now coming to the metabolism, transport, metabolism and excretion. Now the cortisol, when they are released into the blood, they are bind to the cortisol binding protein. Most of the hormone is in bound form. The bound form is the storage form, and it is not available for the action. Only the free form of the hormone is available for the action. Now the hormones are metabolized in the liver, and they are excreted in the urine. They are excreted by glucuronide conjugation, and they are excreted into the urine. So this was about the transport, metabolism and excretion of the hormones. Now let us see about the pharmacological actions of the hormones. Now coming to the mechanism of action of the glucocorticoids. Now the glucocorticoids, they bind to the cytoplasmic receptors. So when the steroids, they enter the cells, target cells, they enter the cytoplasm through the cell membrane, and they bind to the receptors in the cytoplasm. So this steroid receptor complex, now it migrates to the nucleus, and in the nucleus they bind the steroid receptor complex, they bind to the glucocorticoid responsive element on the particular gene of the concerned gene. So the binding site is the glucocorticoid response element on the concerned DNA of the concerned gene, and after its binding to its site, it will cause transcription of messenger RNA, and there will be protein synthesis. So the effects are seen after the protein synthesis. Now the transcription of the DNA can be activated or it can be suppressed. Activation of DNA transcription leads to the protein synthesis, while the suppression of the transcription leads to the anti-inflammatory response. So this is the mechanism of action of the steroids or the glucocorticoids. I will repeat again. The steroids, they enter the target cells, they migrate to the cross the cell membrane and enter the cells. In the cells, inside the cells, they bind to the cytoplasmic receptor. The steroid receptor complex then migrates to the nucleus. In the nucleus, it will bind to the concerned DNA, that is the on the it will get bind to the regulatory area, concerned area, that is the glucocorticoid responsive element. On that it will bind, and it will cause activation of the concerned DNA of the concerned gene, and it will cause transcription of messenger RNA and protein synthesis. The transcription can be activated or suppressed. Activation leads to protein synthesis, while suppression leads to the anti-inflammatory response. So this is the mechanism of action of the glucocorticoids. Now coming to the pharmacological actions of the glucocorticoids. Now the glucocorticoids are having a role in the mostly in the metabolism. Now the glucocorticoids, which are having the actions of glycogen deposition and having neoglucogenetic action, they are known as glucocorticoids, and they are the hydrocortisone. While the corticosteroids, which are mainly concerned with the salt and water retention, they are known as the mineralocorticoid, and that is the aldosterone. Now coming to the action on the glucose metabolism or the carbohydrate metabolism. So the action you can see that of the on the carbohydrate metabolism is that glucocorticoids, they stimulate the glycogen deposition and neoglucogenesis in the liver. So production of glucose from the amino acids is stimulated, while the and second action is that they decrease the sensitivity of the tissues to the insulin. So so there is a decrease in the sensitivity to the insulin, and so the utilization of glucose in the cells is not possible. There is decrease in the entry of the glucose, and utilization of glucose inside the cells is not possible because of reduced sensitivity to the insulin. So this leads to the hyperglycemia, and that's why the glucocorticoids are contraindicated in diabetic. Now action on the protein metabolism. Now glucocorticoids have anti-anabolic action, that is they inhibit the conversion of amino acid into the proteins. So the incorporation of amino acids into the proteins is inhibited, and this is known as anti-anabolic action. They also cause breakdown of the proteins in the body. This is known as catabolic action. They cause breakdown of muscles,